Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, story people of Houston. Woo! So, welcome to Grown Up Story Time. I help produce the show along with Emily, Blair, and John, who got the lights on and the sound on, who really turned it on tonight. So, big round of applause for John back there. Hell yeah. All right, so Grown Up Story Time is a tradition in Houston, a theatrical one, and one in which you too can participate. You can write a story. You can be a reader. So how it works is anyone writes a story and they can submit, and then we'll take a look and we'll be like, who could be a good reader for this? And we'll match up the writer's stories with completely different readers. So then the writers are like, oh my gosh, how is it gonna turn out? And it's all crazy and awesome, and we're about to witness it. So, yeah, hell yeah. Oh, okay, that was it. That's okay. It's gonna be really awesome once we get started. So for Grown Up Story Time, this theater that we're in, it is a bar space, and the sound will bounce, so just be cognizant as the show starts and the readers are reading. If you need bathrooms, they're back this way. And also, if your grandma calls, I love this because Blair always tells it this way. If your grandma calls and you need to pick up the call, go this way, and there's a patio in the back that you can take the call on. Yeah, and is there anything else that I'm missing? Probably a few things. Usually there's two of us up here, but what's cool about tonight is two of us are reading, so y'all are getting a real treat from the masters. Let's see. Okay, so stories are gonna be due April 2nd. Just send them in, however, we'll take a look and you'll get feedback. Don't be nervous. I promise it's gonna be okay. We just love stories and we would love to see yours. And then 2 weeks after that, we have that same day actually, I lied. That same day, we're gonna have a reading party, probably on the east side of town, where we'll look at it together. And so if you're interested in reading, you can come check that out. And we can take a look at how you sound and think about who you might match up with potentially if you haven't read before. And that's a cool way to get a sneak peek at the stories. And then 2 weeks after that, on April 2nd, on the April 16th, I can do math, right? Is when we'll have the next show. So yeah, so check out your programs. On the back is where you can email your stories. And we also have some of our friends' other promotional things on there, such as bands and also theaters and things like that. So definitely check that out. And I think that's it. We should get this show on the road. Quick mic thing for readers is use this thing here and you'll be good. All right, without further ado, here to host GUST 168 is Katie Manning.
GUST. I'm so thrilled to be doing this now. I listened to the instructions, but I don't know. I'm tall. And I hurt my hand recently. We're going to try. The other way. Yeah. Okay. Is everybody okay after that? Do you feel like you're in capable hands still, or are you just like, we're going to leave? Oh, thank God. Okay. So I'm Katie Manning. I have a long and storied history with GUST. I'm kind of in love with GUST. I have a little crush on GUST. The first time I ever came to Grown Up Storytime was 2012, I think. And the way that I learned about it was I went to the Renaissance Festival, and I met a bagpipe player, and we flirted. And he invited me on a date in Houston to hear stories. And when I first heard the name, I was like, is this a sex, stories? Grown Up Story Time? It just sounded like for adults. And it wasn't, although kind of, some of the time. And it was a delight, and I fell in love with it. I after that, I think that same year, I got to do this weird game show thing that was at Grown Up Storytime, and I won a t-shirt by shooting like whipped cream or shaving cream into a stranger. They were holding a like cup on a popsicle stick in their mouth, and I had to fill it from a distance with whipped cream. And this was my second experience with GUST, I think. And I was like, yeah, like I'm sold. This is all I need in the world. Since then, I've submitted stories, I've read stories, and I'm hosting, and it's so wonderful to be here. I think the GUST audience is one of the best audiences in Houston. It's such a communal feeling. It's such a supportive, smart, wonderful, caring audience. And I think it's one of the places where you go to a show and you just feel everyone listening and caring, and it's really beautiful. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and bring up our first reader. The first story is called Am I King George? Am I King George? Written by Jose Pineda and read by Gerald Guidry. Give it up.